What's up, everybody? It's me, Chris, here to talk about the big fight coming up this weekend, the one all fans have been waiting for. Manny Pacquiao against Ricky Hatton in the junior welterweight division. Manny Pacquiao's record is 48 wins, 3 losses, 2 defeats with 36 knockouts. He is 5'6.5" with a 67-inch reach. Against Ricky Hatton, Ricky the Hitman Hatton, whose record is 45 wins, 1 defeat, 32 knockouts. He's 5'7.5" with a 65-inch reach. Manny Pacquiao is coming off the Oscar De La Hoya win, where De La Hoya retired on his stool more or less after, I believe, the 7th round. Before that, he had the 9th round TKO over David Diaz at lightweight. And before that fight, he had the split decision win over Juan Manuel Marquez in their rematch. Ricky Hatton is coming off the 11th round TKO over Paulie Malignaggi. Before that, he had a unanimous decision over Juan Lezcano. Definitely not one of his better performances. And before that was the TKO loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. So, a couple of things to note in this fight. First off, this will be Manny Pacquiao's first fight at junior welterweight. The fight against Oscar De La Hoya was at welterweight, but he made the weight comfortably. He looked really good in there. The thing is, it's really hard to take. You can't really take too much from Manny's last performance against Oscar necessarily. I mean, you can't completely evaluate that and, assume that that's going to happen in this fight. Oscar De La Hoya just, didn't really have much to offer, if at all anything, to be honest, in that fight. And Manny picked him apart. I don't see any way that Ricky Hatton is going to be, as bad as Oscar De La Hoya was in that fight. No disrespect. But, Manny looked fast still at the weight. Definitely looked strong. Oscar wasn't able to push him around or anything, but once again, like I said, Oscar just didn't really have anything once the bell rang. Manny's speed didn't look to be too effective. I'm sure he's not, I think he's obviously the faster fighter of these two. People are saying, still saying Hatton's the bigger, stronger fighter naturally. Although I do believe maybe he's naturally bigger, I don't necessarily believe he's stronger. Manny Pacquiao is a very strong fighter, regardless of what weight he started at. The guy is a very strong fighter. He never seems to really get... I've never really seen him bullied or, thrown around in the ring by any opponents. And I know Ricky Hatton has a very physical style, very overwhelming style, and he likes to get in there and really tie guys up, grapple, kind of, rough them up a little bit. But, first off, I don't know if he's going to be able to catch Manny Pacquiao enough to do that. But even if he is, I don't know if he's going to be able to really rough Pacquiao up. Pacquiao is a strong guy. He's not a timid fighter at all, obviously. So he's not going to be afraid to get in there, if Hatton tries to throw him around, put it right back at him. So, I don't think that's really going to be much of an issue. Another thing of note, Manny Pacquiao is also going to be co-trained in this fight, I believe, by Michael Moore, who's been helping Freddie Roach, so that should be a benefit for him. The height and the reach are pretty much the same. Power, I'd probably go with Pacquiao. Ricky Hatton does have power, but he doesn't have that one-punch knockout kind of power, and he hasn't really knocked out in and out recently. Even in the Malignaggi fight, I believe his corner stopped it. So, and Manny Pacquiao, although he's not going to have as much power at this higher weight than he has at the past, he still is a powerful puncher, a very explosive puncher, and I definitely think his punches will have more power behind them than Ricky Hatton's will. The question is, will Ricky Hatton be able to really, get Manny, land enough solid shots on Manny to really threaten him? This will be Ricky Hatton's second fight under the tutelage of trainer Floyd Mayweather Sr., the Malignaggi fight being the first. Hatton did show a few improvements in there, He credited Mayweather Sr. with helping him out, improve his game. So he's had a lot more time to spend with them since then, so it'll be interesting to see. On 24/7, it definitely appears that they work well together. So it'll be interesting to see, what Mayweather can strategize and if Ricky Hatton can capitalize on Mayweather's game plan. Mayweather's got a lot on the line as well. He's been talking a lot of trash about Freddie Roach being very disrespectful. And if his man doesn't look good, his words are really going to come back to bite him in the you-know-what. Another thing, Ricky Hatton is, only has one loss, the loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And he is undefeated at this weight, at junior welterweight. That loss was at welterweight. So, Ricky Hatton, for people to think this is going to be a one-sided fight, there's definitely a lot of people out there that think it may be a one-sided fight. I think people don't really factor in the fact that Ricky Hatton is basically, undefeated, 44-0, at 140 pounds. So, you got to look at that as well. Another great thing about this fight, I think, is going to be the crowd. Both these fighters have very, very, very big, passionate fan bases. We saw in the Hatton-Mayweather fight, with Hatton's fans chanting and whatnot. They follow him. They're very loyal. They bring a lively atmosphere, as do Manny Pacquiao's fans. I mean, the guy is an absolute superstar in his country. Anywhere he seems to go in America on a press tour, thousands of Filipino fans show up, and support him. So I expect a really good crowd, a really great environment that's really going to, add that much more excitement to the fight itself. As for the fight itself, I'm going to go with Manny Pacquiao by, I guess safe would be to say decision, but I'm going to go with Manny Pacquiao by late TKO, and here's why. First off, I don't think, I hear a lot of times people say in the past, Ricky Hatton gets cut, he can get stopped on cuts and whatnot. I can't even remember the last time he got cut. Granted he doesn't have the thickest skin, but he hasn't been cut in a fight or anything where it's threatened him in a long time. So, I don't think that's necessarily going to be an issue. I don't think Manny Pacquiao's going to chop his face up, as I've, read or heard people say. I think that, both guys are going to try to go to the body. Hatton to slow Pacquiao down, obviously. But I think Pacquiao would be smart to go to Hatton's body because I believe it was in the Juan Marengo fight where Hatton was hurt by a body shot. So, not that that's necessarily a weakness of his, but I think it's something that Pacquiao can exploit, or at least attempt to. And Pacquiao's got very fast hands. I think he should, try to move in and out like he did against Oscar De La Hoya. Move around the ring a lot, obviously. Like I said before, I believe he's definitely the faster fighter in my opinion. I think his plan should be, not to fight Ricky Hatton style. It'll be interesting to see when the fight's in the middle of the ring who is at the advantage. I would think Manny Pacquiao because I think he can, jab, throw flurries, move in like he did against Oscar and get out. Not as, as much. Like I said, it's not going to be as one-sided as the De La Hoya fight. What Hatton needs to do is try to cut the ring off, you know what I'm saying? Try to take away Manny's angles. Try to get Manny against the ropes where he can rough him up, land shots, try to bully him around. Even if I don't think he's going to have a lot of success bullying him, that's what he needs to do, in my opinion, to really, have his advantages. When I think about this fight, I think about scenarios I could see playing out. I can see numerous ways, personally, in my mind, and of their past performances, who they fought, level of opposition, and whatnot, and where I can see Manny Pacquiao winning this fight, whether it's outboxing him, using his speed, landing power punches, hurting Ricky to the head, to the body. But it's really hard for me to picture a lot of ways, or a lot of scenarios where I see Ricky Hatton beating Manny Pacquiao. That's not disrespect and say Ricky Hatton's not a good fighter or even a great fighter. It's just I don't think he really has the power to hurt Pacquiao necessarily. I don't think he has the speed to keep up with Manny Pacquiao necessarily. Like I said, I think he can, even if he implements his game plan, I don't know how successful it's going to be. It's just hard for me to see Ricky Hatton winning this fight based on the style matchup. So that's kind of another reason why I'm going with Manny Pacquiao, to be honest. But, I expect a good fight. I think the early rounds will definitely be really close. It'll be interesting to see who, dictates the pace early on. But as the fight wears on, I just think Manny Pacquiao is going to take over more and more, and mid to late rounds, I think he's going to have more advantage, really start to take it out of Hatton. And another thing, main factor in this fight for me, speed. Speed kills, as they say, and I believe that that's the case. In the Hatton-Mayweather fight, I realized that Mayweather's a little bit more technically sound than Manny Pacquiao, and probably faster as well, especially considering the weight. But Ricky Hatton, Floyd Mayweather's speed definitely gave him problems, along with his movement. Now, Manny Pacquiao is not the counter-puncher that Floyd Mayweather is, but he still has a lot of the same, skills and intangibles that Floyd Mayweather used. And I think that's a good tape for him to go back and study, in regards to going into this fight. But bottom line is, I just think Manny Pacquiao with speed, quickness, movement, Freddie Roach always having a great game plan. There's a reason why Freddie Roach is, going to be a 3-time trainer of the year. Guy's great strategist. I think Manny Pacquiao, people think he might not be focused. I definitely think he's focused. I don't think that should be a problem. If they both come into the top of the game, I just think Manny Pacquiao is the better fighter overall. Once again, no disrespect to Ricky Hatton. He definitely can win the fight. It's not like he can't win. It's not like he's not capable of winning. But my personal opinion is I think Manny Pacquiao is going to win by a late TKO. If it doesn't, he's definitely going to win a decision, I think, if it makes it that far. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to see this fight or not. I'm not going to order on pay-per-view because it's just too much to pay for, for one person. When I can catch it on HBO the next week for free. Hopefully I'll be able to catch it and come back on Sunday and give my thoughts. But until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Enjoy the fight. Should be exciting, and see you next time.